Hello and good evening. AAfat, that's the new show on MX Player making headlines right now. Quirky, funny, smartly written, with a very strong message. I'm not going to tell you more about it because for that you have to watch the show yourself. But what we have been doing here on Mirror Now is that over the last couple of days we've been bringing to you stories of women from different walks of life. Women who are taking on the world, breaking stereotypes, redefining norms, changing the world. And today with me in the studios are three such women, fiery women, Nikita, Anshul and Neelam. And they are part of the star power of this new show, AAfat. And they're going to tell us all about this show and their journeys. Let's start with you. Why is it called AAfat?
As simple as what the name suggests, the show is an AAfat in itself. But of course, every alphabet in AAfat, it stands for one of us. So, it's Aditi, it is Anu, Faiza, Aisha, and Titli. Okay. So these are our characters. We are 5 girls who are playing these characters.
And yours is Titli.
I am Titli, yes. So with us, we all have something which is ideally, it should be a normal thing that we all have within ourselves, but it's not perceived normal in the society.
Absolutely.
So that's what AAfat talks about. Things that are made to, that we are made to feel are abnormal, but actually they shouldn't be abnormal.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about the character Titli and what's unusual or abnormal.
So with Titli, the fact of matter is that she is a young divorced girl. She's a girl who's got into a love marriage, and at a very young stage, that's barely within 6 months of her marriage, she's gotten a divorce, and she's staying with her parents. So I think somewhere we are trying to show that we have progressed enough where the parents don't really have an issue that she's divorced and she's come back and she's staying with them. But at the same time, people don't really miss a chance to indirectly make her feel that yes, you are divorced at a young age. And I think we all live in this perception that a girl cannot be unmarried. Especially once she's got married at such a young age. Absolutely. There's nothing that's wrong about her. She's working, she's decent looking, and she's everything is fine. Why is she single and why is she at home?
Yes.
So the entire pressure that she has to get married again, and even if you have to get married again, it's not that you can make a choice of your own.
Yeah.
It's that you have done a mistake once, so now you have to listen to us.
So she's going through the whole arranged marriage process? She's going through
the whole arranged marriage process, and even when you're going through the arranged marriage process, it's not that you're going to get somebody of your choice. Now because you are divorced, you're only going to get a man who's also divorced, who has a kid, or who's lost a wife or something on those lines. You don't really have the liberty to make that choice of your own. So that's what Titli is all about.
Okay. Anshul, your character is very interesting, and I don't know if you can tell us who came up with that idea, and of course tell our viewers about the character itself. And I mean, what did you think when you first heard about the...
Okay, so when I first heard about the character, I really wanted to do it. In fact, I left some other work for this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, because I have been hairy.
Yes.
Naturally, I am.
Yes.
So, and I see a lot of influence of the media and the films on the normal people and girls out there, including me. Okay, yes. In school time, I was bullied because I was hairy.
So Anshul's character, Anshul's character in the series is a hairy woman who chooses not to wax. And of course, then deals with the reactions to that. So go ahead, please. Yes.
Yeah. So the character name is Aisha, Aisha Puru, and she's a voiceover artist. And she doesn't wax. She is very comfortable in her own skin and she's fine with it, okay? Yeah. But everybody else around her, including her best friends, family, everybody, they have problems that why don't you wax? So they try and dictate that, you should be wearing these types of clothes and going to these types of places because you don't wax, right? But it doesn't matter to her, And as I was saying, that I was very excited to take this role. Because when I was in school, I used to get bullied because my parents did not allow me to get waxed because they were like, this is the time to focus on your studies and everything. If you start doing it, then you have to keep a track of these things, right? Yes. That happens naturally. Yes. After seven days of the growth is there, then you have to go to the parlor, get it done.
And it's a big problem especially for women who are more hairy, because then it becomes more frequent, and it's a big part of your late teenage life.
And being an actor, so perk of that is that I can really stand up for certain things which I really feel for, So this was one thing that I really wanted to stand up for. the perception of beauty which the society and people have, which I think is twisted.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to do it for that sake.
But did you understand that when you were younger and your parents said that you shouldn't at this point of
You know, I didn't realize it only because around in my family there were hairy women, my mom and everybody, and they didn't get these things done. So it was very normal for me.
Okay.
But the kind of schools that I went to, you know, there the culture was different.
Yes.
So of course, that
Yes.
at that age we don't understand, right? At that time, I used to feel that why can't I get it done? You know, I am being bullied. You not sitting there in my classroom,
No,
so
there's
you don't
so much
understand.
of peer pressure.
Yeah, there is, right?
Yes, yes.
So that time I used to feel sad and bad, but now I understand it. That is just, you know, the idea that is coming from the media, television, films, and all of that.
Funny thing is, probably at that age, your parents themselves will tell you, don't do it because you'll get distracted
Yes.
from your academics, and later they'll be the ones telling you, please go get it.
Yes.
Please go get it done, because
And family members will have 5 more
Yeah,
things to tell you to
exactly.
do. How to look pretty,
So
use these homemade recipes
It's
for your
so
face
funnily
and skin.
contradicting these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But yeah, as we say, Indian parents.
Well, it's interesting. Neelam, your character is Anu.
Yeah.
And she works as an analyst at an MNC. So what's
Yeah,
unusual
she's actually
about
a
Anu?
coder.
Huh.
She's a coder in a multinational company. So the character name is Anu Chabra. And she's a Delhi-based girl, educated, but comes from a very simple Punjabi family. And she used to have very long hair.
Okay.
And what she suddenly one day decides is to chop all her hair off. तो अपने सारे बाल काट देती है. मतलब nearly bald हो जाती है. मतलब 1-1 millimeter का है बाल बस उसके सर पे.
And why does she do that?
वो करती है क्योंकि for her it's just like the summers are really hot in Delhi.
Acha.
And I felt like cutting my hair and I did it.
Yeah.
You know, so she comes home and then the reactions she gets from her family, her parents and her boyfriend, and you know how she's judged just because like suddenly she's a different person and nobody sees her as the same Anu as she was before just because of
पहला
their
reaction है
parents.
कि oh she's bald.
हाँ तो मतलब कुछ
you're not
क्या
really,
हो गया? No,
yeah.
मैं तुमसे बात भी कर रही हूँ और नहीं तुम वो नहीं लग रही, you know. शायद you know then it's like how society's reaction, like you know we have buildings में जो neighbors होते हैं हमारे या you know आसपास की जो aunties होती हैं उनकी भी काफी opinions matter करती हैं and they are just like कि अच्छा she must be depressed या आमतौर से हमारा पहला ये होता है maybe you know according to like the Hinduism and stuff कि somebody must have died in your family तो you know वरना क्यों एक लड़की अपने बाल इतने छोटे काटेगी मतलब लड़के करते रहते हैं that is fine but we are used to seeing guys with short hair and girls we are used to we like for us it's an acceptable image that a girl with long hair as soon as she gets short hair it's like you know this is not
you actually
right.
have politicians even now in our country in the current parliament who've often used it as a derogatory definition of you know जो छोटे बाल वाली शहर की लड़कियां हैं वो ऐसे हैं
it's seen
वैसे
upon like
and that's a larger perception which is there.
Correct. And it's like it's because we are very judgmental, like we humans generally we are very judgmental and हम appearance और looks को देख के बहुत जल्दी judge कर देते हैं तो इस आफत में मतलब इसमें we are not like AAfat is not like dictating what is right, what is wrong.
Correct.
Oh, we are rebelling against these
preachy
norms.
like that.
It's not preachy. It is just situations. You know, these characters are in, and you know things they are doing just because it's very small things. Now, not waxing or you know.
But what was your family and you know relatives' reaction when they discovered कि अरे तुम ऐसा role कर रही हो? Was there a reaction like that?
Yeah, there was. There was. So basically, I'm born and raised in Europe. Okay. Now this is very interesting. I'm born and raised in Europe. My family is Punjabi, from Punjab. Simple people. Yet one would think that they are very modern.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So they are in many. They're very progressive in their thinking and everything. But when it boils down to these things now, it's still very rooted. You know, कि बाल काटने अच्छा. I call my parents. I didn't ask them कि अच्छा. मैं करूँ ना करूँ. I basically just told them कि this is a project and I really wanted to be a part of this project and I'm like मैं अपने बाल काट रही हूँ इतने अच्छा कितने like how short and I'm like this short and they're like
Okay. There was like this long pause. And then her mother is like, so now what will you do? Will you wear a wig when you go out? I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. No, I will not. Maybe for work, yes, but not as a, because I've had short hair before.
Yeah.
Like when I came to India for the first time, I had like boycott. So for me, it wasn't like a great thing कि अच्छा बाल काटने हैं. तो लोग मुझे लगा हाँ चलो, why not?
Yes.
But like my dad said a very sweet thing. He's like कोई गल नहीं पुत्तर. हम भी तो बाल काटते ही हैं, उग जाएंगे वापस, है ना? At the end, what can they say? अभी कर तो दिया है कल्याण, तो कोई बात नहीं.
Interesting. So, you know, the entire concept, of course, of the show is to break stereotypes and for people to understand that it's okay, it's an individual's choice, and that's how you should see it. There is a sudden burst of content like this that we are seeing, which is a good thing, and I think that there will never be enough of it, because we have to break these stereotypes and we have to change these norms. But what's your own sense? Is the whole burst on online TV series helping bring about that change more easily than the TV serials?
Right now, there is a huge amount of audience that is resorting to watching whatever content they used to earlier on TV, or whether they would go and watch films in cinemas. They are watching it on their phones. It's very easily accessible. So you have like this huge number of audience that's there watching it out there. And of course, I think the fact that there's not much censorship, that kind of helps putting out more content there, which you couldn't do earlier.
Yes.
Regarding AAfat, I think it's very basic and simple.
Yes.
I know there are a lot of TV shows, I mean a lot of web shows that have come in that deal with some really grave issues.
Yes.
You know, here we are not really talking about LGBTQ, or we are not talking about mainly such kind of issues. We are talking about very basic things which probably we don't even think are issues.
Yes.
Because these are general norms and stereotypes that we have made in the society. You know, a girl cannot have short hair, a girl can't be bald, a girl has to wax, a girl cannot be fat, a girl has to talk properly, she cannot abuse, because those are the other two characters.
Correct.
I mean, a girl is divorced, it's a bit of a problem. A guy is divorced, okay fine, he'll get somebody else. So these are just, and the problem here is that it's not at any particular level of the society. It happens everywhere. Your low income group, or your high income group, or your middle income group, every part of the society faces these basic issues. So I think that's as simple as putting it out there. It's not really trying to fight and create a revolution or anything. It's just highlighting that, listen, that's how we've been taught, but that is something that's wrong and needs to be changed.
Yes, but and it's also, I mean, I felt that it's also trying to reach out to a larger audience. You're not limiting it to saying, oh, it's just about, you know, these urban India, young India, who may understand, because you're talking about that modern life. This entire story and your all characters are stitched together through that arranged marriage aspect of the series. So you are, while saying that that's okay and that is there currently in most parts of our country, and you're trying to reach out to those people.
Fine.
And it's fine.
It is fine. You want to go for arranged marriage. It's not because we are being modern, so bas abhi, you know, you only have to do love marriage. No.
So it's a nice overlap of you know, this and
that.
It
works both ways. I mean, it's just like, I personally feel that one should just be open.
Yeah.
Don't judge. मतलब बस क्योंकि कोई छोटे बाल रख रहा है या कोई ज़्यादा मोटा है, जैसे how you address, you know.
So here actually the simple thing is, it's a very basic live and let live policy. That's all I think what this show is also trying to say. That even with the arranged marriage aspect, it's your choice, right? If your parents offer you that, hey, we want to go look for grooms out there for you, you say yes, great. If you say no, that should be your choice. You should be allowed to say no. So again, the arranged marriage part becomes a little relative. I mean, that also happens. I mean, you can't ignore the fact that it still happens in the country.
Yes, but tell me more about now the content that's being generated for the online portals. There is a huge market, like you said, we are discovering and people are watching. Is that helping change the kind of content you're getting as choice?
where you can watch. I think
what you can watch and what you can work for.
Yeah.
You know, if do you have more options now to choose from, that I want to do a certain different kind of a show? I don't want to get stuck into what we've seen, you know, growing up through the 90s and the 2000s. You have more options now.
Of course.
It's opened up a lot of rooms for art, for like everyone in this field, whether it's actors, technicians, writers, producers, directors.
Absolutely,
You know, so you can like actually make stuff which you believe in and you feel which is relevant in today's day and age. Like AAfat, why it's been appreciated so much, I think it's because people relate to it.
It's very
it's there.
actually.
It's there.
Very real,
How's the response been, Anshul? It's been now 2 weeks?
It's been great, it's been great so far. I mean, it's very nice to read comments when they say that when is season 2 coming out. I think that
is there a season 2?
Well, we don't know yet. You have to ask the bosses. But yeah, I think that's a very good feeling when people just look forward to a season 2. But I think that's the best part about web, because it's not that, you know, unlike a television show which just goes on and on, here it's like you're feeding content in the right amount to the people. You know, you come up with season, if it's appreciated, you come up with a season 2. So, you know, the concept that's generally followed outside the country, not really in India, this is a new thing, which is great. I think it's picking up, because then it's not a drag. You know, just to kind of keep up with TRPs, you're just dragging a story, it loses its base, it loses what it's supposed to be for.
Correct.
And with the film is a different experience altogether, because that's cinema, but you can't keep like a 5-hour film. So that's the best part about web, because, you know, you can show them how much ever you want, but in the right portions.
And you choose, like, today everyone is working, everybody is busy, nobody has actually the time to just, you know, come home at a certain given time and watch whatever has been given to you. Here you choose. You know, you're working, you're traveling for business meetings or whatever, you're in your hotel room or you're traveling in
the
your
way
car.
we consume this content now has changed completely.
And I think that is the future, because I will decide when I want to watch and what I want to watch. You don't tell me what I want to watch, you know? That's like where we are headed. In the next 10 years, this is going to be like super amazing. Because, you know, there's so many online portals now. There's so many channels.
Absolutely.
And there's so much happening.
It's good for us also, like actors like us. Earlier it was very difficult to, you know, crack or get into that space.
Correct.
You know, it's been more than 3 years that I moved to Bombay. First year was ads and, you know, I was trying in films and stuff like that. And when this whole thing of web started, this became easier, like much easier. So people like me, and talent is now actually being appreciated and it is being considered. Earlier it wasn't, because there are so many people, and since web has come in, now the opportunities are more.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people can, you know, come forward and do whatever they want to in terms of acting, editing, filmmaking, whatever it is. You know?
Right. And like she said, there's a lot more freedom, because there isn't that kind of censorship now.
That's right.
We don't know what will happen right now.
The thing also that's happened is that it's become less about the looks and more about the character.
Correct.
I think that's something really lovely that's come in. So earlier there was again this whole stereotype that that's the way an actress should look like, which is not there anymore. It's more like you need to fit into a character the way the certain character is written.
Absolutely. And your show completely defines that, and it's very interesting. There are 5 characters, and all 5 characters have very interesting aspects, and I think the series goes into quite a bit of depth about that and how they grow even in those 6 episodes. Right?
6 episodes.
So thank you so much, guys. It was really fun having this conversation. I hope you all had fun. Just one more time, let's look at the trailer and go ahead and check it out. AAfat on MX Player.